The following is a special presentation of the National Lacrosse League.
The National Lacrosse League returns to Rochester as the Nighthawks and the Swarm take center stage at Connors and Ferris Field at the Blue Cross Arena. It's Georgia versus Rochester, and it's coming up next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rochester, New York, as the Rochester Nighthawks take on the Georgia Swarm. Alongside Brendan McDaniels, I'm Craig Rybczynski, and what a pivotal weekend for the Rochester Nighthawks. 2 games against East Division opponents, and their playoff hopes are on the line this weekend. They need at least a split to keep their playoff hopes alive. Rochester and Georgia, they met on March 2nd, 15-11. The Georgia Swarm were victorious. Swarm are looking for the season series sweep against Rochester. And to get ready for this game, Rochester had a bye weekend, a very busy one. They made a lot of moves. 5 veterans were traded. In return, they got 3 players, Ryan Benesch, Chris Bouchy. They also activated 5 other players, Mike Manley being one of them. Brendan, I say they restocked this lineup, and I think this change is something they desperately needed.
It's certainly going to be interesting how tonight goes, but they absolutely needed a change. Things weren't going well. They lost 5 in a row. They wanted to shake things up. They still are mathematically in the playoff hunt, so now's the time that they got to make a move. Ryan Benesch, we're going to talk more about him in a minute. They got a couple young guys that are going to be making their NLL debut. They're really exciting. Mike Manley coming back. He has dominated the outdoor game over the last couple of years. He's taken a couple years off in the National Lacrosse League, but his game absolutely suits the indoor game. It's going to be fun to watch number 5 suited up tonight.
On the other side of the ball, you've got the Georgia Swarm, 9-4. They made no moves. They win tonight, they clinch a playoff spot. So head coach Ed Camo and company, they're looking for business as usual.
Absolutely, and there's no reason for them to make any trades. This team is absolutely stacked. They got an outstanding offense. Their defense transition is very good. Mike Poulin has been great in goal. I mean, this is a championship-level team, and they're ready to make that run, and they could clinch it tonight. Them and Buffalo, probably the 2 best teams in the entire league. They're rolling on all cylinders.
It should be a good one tonight. Let's go downstairs to a third member of our team, Jenna Cottrell, for tonight's keys to the game.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much. And we're talking about the keys to the game, and tonight we'll start with the Swarm, and this is something that's helped them out all season long. It's that play of consistency. They've done a great job. They have a 9-4 record coming into today, and that's because another key to this game is how they've been playing all season long, and that's unselfish. They've been able to share the ball, and it's really worked out in their favor. But tonight, the keys for Rochester, we'll start with one that they've really struggled with, and that's just playing discipline, and they need to have more composure down the stretch. And also for Rochester, there's a lot of new faces out on the field for them, so they need to come together, develop that chemistry, and do it in a hurry as they face off against the Swarm tonight.
Thanks a lot, Jenna. And Brendan, when you talk about the players to watch, Lyle Thompson's definitely at the top of that list for Georgia.
Absolutely, he's on the top of everybody's list. Lyle Thompson might be the most exciting player in the National Lacrosse League right now. He can hurt you in so many different ways. He's 3rd in the National Lacrosse League with 73 points. He can score, he can dish it out. When he's working that 2-man game with his brother Miles Thompson, absolutely outstanding. Or if he's with Randy Stotts, so much firepower in this offense, but it all goes through Lyle Thompson. You got to watch out for him. There's no telling where he might score from on the field.
For the Rochester Nighthawks, they will have 5 new forwards in the lineup, but the player to watch tonight, Ryan Benesch.
Ryan Benesch, that was almost a steal when they traded for him with Corey Vitarelli to Colorado. A lot of people around the National Lacrosse League were surprised that he got traded. This is the guy who's already got 47 points. He had an outstanding season for Colorado last year. One of the most prolific goal scorers in the history of the National Lacrosse League. He's closing in on 1,000 career points. This is a big piece for the Nighthawks to get during this stretch run. And if they're going to make a run to the playoffs, Ryan Benesh needs to be a key part of that offense. Him and Cody Jamieson, that should be fun to watch.
Well, tonight the Rochester Nighthawks will try to take another step toward that fourth and final playoff spot in the East Division. Georgia, Rochester, opening faceoff coming up next. NLL on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much. I'm joined here by Shane Jackson. A big game tonight for your team. The Swarm win, and you guys clinch your ticket to the postseason. What's the mentality for this team tonight?
We're just taking it week by week. We just want to focus on our game tonight and, work on the things that we want to work on, and that's just been our focus all week.
All right, no love lost between you and Rochester. Now your third meeting of the season. How do you face off against a team when there is so much familiarity?
Yeah, I mean, we like playing these guys. It's always a good battle, so I expect the same thing tonight.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good luck tonight. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jenna. Shane Jackson might be looking at some unfamiliar faces for the Nighthawks. 6 players on the Nighthawks roster, brand new. They're in the lineup, and starting in goal tonight, number 76, Warren Hill, getting his first start as a member of the Rochester Nighthawks.
Yeah, be a little bit interesting to see how Warren Hill does. He played in both of the games against Georgia already this season in relief of Angus Goodleaf, and Mike Hazen might have thought, you know what? They ran Angus Goodleaf out of the game the first 2 times. We brought Warren Hill in relief. Let's just give him the start and let's see how he does. A little bit different look for Rochester. We talked about all the different faces. Definitely a different face coming in goal tonight.
Mike Poulin will get the start for the Georgia Swarm, and taking the draws, Jordan McIntosh against Jake Withers. Withers won 24-28 the last time these two teams met, and he wins the first one tonight.
And Jordan McIntosh, he became the 7th player in league history to win 1,500 faceoffs in that big win over Buffalo last week.
And here they come, the shot he scores. The first shot is put to the back of the net, and Chad Tutton makes it 1-0 Georgia.
Just 15 seconds into the game, and Chad Tutton in transition gets the goal, but this all starts at the faceoff X between Withers and Jordan McIntosh. McIntosh able to win that draw, and he quickly gets it up ahead. You see on the turnover there, they move it in transition, they get it up to Tutton, and they get the goal. So nice 1-2-3 pass and a goal. And Warren Hill, that's a tough way for him to start, having to go one-on-one right out of the gate.
Well, Georgia with the early lead. Let's see if Rochester can counter as Withers. We'll get it back to Luke Magnan. And the Nighthawks will go on the offense for the first time tonight, over to Mike Burke. Burke gives it on the half wall. As Rochester now, Boucher. Over to Burke. Burke drops it off to Benesh. Now to Jamieson. They've got a lot of chemistry together. They played together in the summer with the Six Nations Chiefs for some time, and that shot from the outside is gobbled up by Mike Poulin.
Yeah, you're going to see 4 new forwards on the floor tonight for Rochester. You got a couple big guys that we'll talk about as they get out there, a couple young guys that are really just fresh to the National Lacrosse League game, so it'll be interesting to see how this offense gels with limited time to get prepped together.
Fired over now near side. Jackson the shot, and sliding out to make the save is Warren Hill. Very acrobatic. Warren Hill, .806 save percentage this year. Here comes Gillies in transition. That's denied and knocked through the crease, and Poulin will scoop it up and steer it on ahead to Noble, who gives it over now on the far wall. 1-0 Swarm, and here they come in transition. Fed cross crease. That one is settled down into the near corner and dropped back for Lyle Thompson. Over now on the far boards now to Williams. Zed Williams trying to get away from Withers. Fed near side to Jackson. Gives it behind the net. In and out of the stick. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. as that one was mishandled by Miles Thompson. You don't see that happen too often. And Rochester now will see if they can even things up as the team captain, Cody Jamison, and that's an illegal pick. And we got an injured player down behind the play.
That was Dawson Theed, the brand new guy, the 4th round pick. Send the illegal screen.
And the play continues on as Randy Stotts will fire it from the outside.
Lyle Thompson just getting on the floor right there, but that was Krepensek that came off.
And Lyle Thompson scores at the nifty pass in front. He beats Hill 5-hole. It's 2-0.
Well, Lyle Thompson, you have to know where he is on the floor at all times. If you lose sight of him, that's exactly what's going to happen. We take a look at this again. You see Randy Stotts flipping it across the turf, and Barclay just allowed Lyle Thompson to get in front of him. And once Lyle Thompson had Barclay on his hip, that's an easy pass for Randy Stotts to make and a simple goal. You can't get behind Lyle Thompson when he's that close to the goal.
They battle for it inside the circle, and Withers will win that face-off against Connor Sellers. And Withers, who was just activated last game, is winning over 65% of his face-offs this year, which leads the National Lacrosse League. Robinson will drop it off now to Bushi, who was acquired from Calgary. His shot goes wide of the net. Skips over, and here come the Swarm in transition. In on Hill, the twister, kick save as Hill got the right pad out. Big save by Warren Hill on that breakaway opportunity. Now the Nighthawks on the counterattack as Daryl Robertson.
Adam Weedman had a wide open opportunity on Warren Hill, and he predicted that shot correctly and was able to make the save.
Jamison tiptoeing the midfield stripe. Now over on the near side, Triolo's making his pro debut. Drops it off for Burke, in and out of his stick, and here come the Swarm. Into Rochester territory, Jackson wide open, takes the feed and scores. Shane Jackson, it's 3-0.
Rochester very slow to get back in transition in the early going of this game. And Shane Jackson gets in front once again. Brendan Bomberry in transition gets a little bit of pad from Cody Jamison and sees Shane Jackson coming in on the opposite end. And again, a one-on-one opportunity against Warren Hill. So 2 of the first 3 goals by Georgia have basically been wide open shots. And if you want to count Lyle Thompson, he was wide open too. So all 3 have basically come without a defender on the attacker.
Rochester's Brad Gillies ducks away from the double team, now has a stick knocked away, and Georgia comes up with the ball again. Very tenacious, Georgia. They do a great job pressuring the ball, and they cause the turnover, and they'll go to work as Zed Williams, who's been one of the most consistent players for the Swarm this year, according to their head coach, Ed Camo. Out down low, fed in front of the net, knocked out of the stick by Miles Thompson, who feeds it back up top to Williams. Fakes it, shoots it, and that one goes wide of the net. Backed up by Jackson, who fires it into the midsection of Hill, who will hang on.
Yeah, you mentioned Zed Williams. I mean, he's been playing a lot of transition this year, but he's also been kind of working his way into the offensive end for the Georgia Swarm, and it's been paying dividends for them. I mean, it's almost a comedy of riches for Georgia. I mean, they've already got so many accomplished scorers, then you add Zed Williams in there. I mean, they just got so many guys that can put the ball in the back of the net.
And that shot by Kyle Jackson goes wide over the midfield stripe, and Georgia will take over on the over and back. 3-0 Swarm. And they've got the ball once again, putting pressure on the defense in Warren Hill. The shot, he scores. Randy Stotts makes it 4-0.
Beautiful draw and dump by the Georgia Swarm. That was textbook lacrosse. On that play, they got 2. Watch, 2 Rochester defenders are going to bite on this. This is Bomberry. Comes in, he gets Magnan to bite, he gets Theed to bite, and leaves Randy Stotts all alone. He does a couple dekes up high and sends it low. He gets Hill. You see, as soon as he gets Hill up in the air, Then he's got an open space down low. Just a beautiful all-around play. Smart play by Bomberry to have the patience to make the two defenders commit to him, and then Stotts slips back and gets the goal.
Randy Stotts, 26 years old, out of Six Nations. Played his college ball at Syracuse University, and one of the best scorers in the National Lacrosse League. Withers, and it knocked away, and Bouchy now has it on the near boards. Chris Bouchy, number 21 in black, over now far side to Jamison. Jamison driving to the middle, his shot is knocked down. That one is scooped up as it was batted back by Rannigan. And fired up the floor now. 4-0 shots are 7-2 in favor of Georgia as Lyle Thompson has it over on the far wing, gets by his defender, shoots and scores. And it is a goal-scoring bonanza right now for Georgia.
Remember that time a moment ago I told you that for Lyle Thompson you couldn't let him be on your hip or he was gonna hurt you? It's exactly the same thing. Here's Lyle Thompson. Watch this. Horn is not going to step up on him, and Lyle Thompson easily gets behind him for the dive and goal. Horn gave him the outside, and Lyle Thompson does the rest. I mean, what a pretty goal by Lyle Thompson.
2 goals already tonight for Lyle. And it has been all Georgia. 5:21 into the game, they're up 5-0.
When you mentioned 2 shots on goal by Rochester, neither of them were quality shot opportunities either.
We're going to step away here as Georgia leads 5-0. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live. BR Live makes watching live sports easy. Download or visit to watch all of the National Lacrosse League action and more with BR Live. Thanks for joining us tonight. 5-0 in favor of Georgia. Fed over, the shot, he scores! What a feat. Oh, they're going to call a crease violation. That one's waved off. And Dawson Thede thought he had his first professional goal, but that one is waved off.
Yeah, it was a good-looking goal. Too bad it's not going to count, but definitely that's something that we expected to see from the youngster who just finished his hockey season at St. Mary's University. And Mike Hazen just put out the challenge flag, so we're going to get another look at that. So, and Mike Hazen doesn't challenge a lot, so somebody somewhere told him, you might want to challenge this, because he does not challenge very often.
You're right. I would say he's a cautious challenger.
Yes.
Well, Mark Ardonio will take a look. He's a crew chief tonight. Josh Hiltz and Sean Grenier are the assistant referees this evening. 9 minutes to go here in the first. And Brendan, let's take a look at it.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at this. This is exactly what the official's looking at. Yeah, that's a crease violation right there. That's easy. Yep, his foot is absolutely in. That's surprising. We mentioned that Hazen doesn't challenge very often, so he must have been convinced, or somebody on the bench was convinced that that was a goal. But I mean, you can see right there in between the 2 swarm defenders, his foot is easily in the goal crease.
After the call on the floor stands, you have no goal.
Well, Dawson Thede, 6'4", he plays hockey at St. Mary's University. Jake Henhawk said he is going to be the steal of the draft. When people look back at the 2018 draft, they will say that guy is a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, but he's a really good-looking prospect. We mentioned he's a hockey player. He's a tough guy. He's played at the junior level. He's had a very outstanding career. He's got a nice big body. He can get in there and scrap.
That shot by Jamison is knocked away. Battle for it in the far corner. And 6'8", Mike Triolo comes away with it. Triolo from the right wing. Over now to Jackson. Jackson shooting, and that's denied by Poulin. Bouchy comes out of the pile with it, the backhander. And that one's denied. .8 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the first. Georgia still in the lead 5-0. As Holden Katoni gets it over now on the far side. Georgia, as Thompson gets it over now to Williams, the dive, and he hits the near pipe. And he crashed into Warren Hill. Crease violation, Rochester ball.
And the Rochester defenders are given the inside position every time. You're going to see a lot of crease dives tonight if they're going to continue to allow that.
Benesh's pass is picked off. Here come the Swarm in transition. Breaking in on goal, the shot, and that one is denied by Warren Hill.
That was a nice save by Warren Hill. He read the low opportunity, and he dropped to his knees and was able to make that save. That was a big one for Rochester.
Bushi now on the right wing, shoots and scores! Chris Bushi, it's 5-1.
Bushi gets his first goal as a Rochester Nighthawk, and it's an excellent one. It's halfway through the first quarter. They get on the board. Watch this screen. He's going to slip right by. You see him back in, gets that little bit of a screen right there, and allows him to get his hands free. That was Mike Triolo, who was just signed this afternoon, who gives him that little bit of a screen right there and gives him that lane to shoot. And Poulin was slow to react, and the Nighthawks are on the board.
7:34 the time of the goal. That's his 9th goal of the season.
Yeah, Bushi's only 21 years old, but he played 8 games for Calgary so far this season and was able to produce for them. So he's another one of those young guys that's got a lot of upside that Rochester acquired at the trade deadline. And a delayed penalty coming up.
Jamison gets it over to Burke, shooting, and the save by Poulin, and Rochester will go on the man advantage.
So this will be Alex Krepinsak. He had hurt his knee earlier. This is his first shift coming back. So we've got a slash call. So Rochester, a big opportunity here, 2 minutes on the man up to get another goal and to try to squeak their way back into this game after giving up 5 straight in the first 5.5 minutes.
Rochester 5th best in the power play in the NLL. Georgia 10th in penalty killing, and that one misses wide of the net as Kyle Jackson broke in and fired it wide. Now here come the Swarm shorthanded, and Robinson comes back to pick that off. Brandon Robinson had a goal and an assist the last time that he played against the Georgia Swarm. Now to Benesh. He's playing in his 199th game as a pro. Over now near side Bushi. Up top Jamison. Bushi shooting. And that one is stopped by Poulin. Fired up the floor. And that is scooped up neatly by Warren Hill. And he'll give it to Jackson.
That was a nice shot though by Bushi.
Kyle Jackson with a highlight reel goal the last time these two teams played. Bushi now shooting and Poulin the stop.
They look like they've really focused on Bushi trying to get that shot from the wing. He's taken the 2 on the man up so far.
Georgia now shorthanded still for the next 45 seconds, barring a goal. And that one is knocked away by Graham Hossack, whose stick is stripped away by Miles Thompson. Mike Manley trying to take it away from Randy Stotts, who will waft it into the near corner. That's a shot clock violation. It'll be Rochester ball.
So there's still 28 seconds left on this man up. I mean, this is almost a full possession for Rochester, but as we mentioned, it's an important one because they need to start chipping away at this lead right away.
Bushi now over to Burke. Back up top to Bushi as he works it over. Now to Jackson. Bushi back to Jackson up top as they play catch. Bushi over. Benesh the low shot and Poulin the save. Fired up the floor. Georgia back at even strength. 5-1 Swarm. 4:50 to go here in the first quarter. Flipped over now to Jackson, near side Katoni. Katoni steers it across to Stotts. Stotts gives it behind the net to Williams. Up out in front to Jackson. That's Shane Jackson. Now back up top, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as it's lofted into the near corner. We got a timeout on the turf. Rochester has broken the 5-0 run on a goal by Chris Boucher. You're watching the NLL on PR Live.
Yeah, I'm joined live now by head coach Mike Hazen. Coach, the Swarm getting out to a fast start tonight. How do you kind of limit their production moving forward?
You know what? I think first and foremost, we get the nervous jitters out of the way here. We'll just go back out and we're just going to start to play.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jenna. And, you know, they need chemistry. These guys have, a lot of these guys haven't played together. They practiced once, most of them. And Rochester, and that goal by Chris Boucher, hopefully that gives them a little bit of a spark and settles things down.
Well, and they got a few reps on the man up as well offensively too, and it looks like in the early going though that they're gonna look to Boucher to take some of this scoring because they found that they like his shot. So it's gonna take a quarter, maybe two, for them to really start figuring each other out offensively. So if they can weather the storm earlier, they can make a game of it in the second half.
Triolo flips it over. Boucher the drive, the shot, and he just missed wide. Grabbed over there by Theed. Theed fires it in front to Triolo, and that one is intercepted. Back away come the Swarm. Wiedemann now into Rochester territory. He'll drop it off over on the far wing as Georgia changes up personnel, and Catoni will flip it over to Miles Thompson. He'll fire it on over to Stotts, who will drop it up top for Cole. Near side, Catoni. Now over to Stotts. Fed in front, a shot by Cole, and Hill with a great save to take it away. Now here come the Nighthawks in transition. Hasek tracks it down, flips it to Withers. In front, the shot by Burke, and I think that was grabbed out of the air.
Yeah, they never made it to Burke's stick.
Now here they come with numbers. And the behind the back feed from Tutton goes awry, and that's intercepted by Robinson. One of two players who played hockey this season before turning to lacrosse. Dropped off now to Triolo, near side to Cam Simpson. Cross floor, Kyle Jackson in on goal. The low bouncer is denied with a right pad of Mike Poulin.
Yeah, Poulin's been on his game so far in the early going. He's got 8 saves now on 9 shots.
Georgia now working the ball. Near side to Catoni. Gives it down low to Jackson. Fed in front. The shot, he scores. Great ball movement, and Georgia makes it 6-1 as Miles Thompson bangs it home.
And that's just another opportunity of a backdoor cut and a defender watching the ball and not the player. I mean, this Georgia Swarm team is so smart. You got to watch everybody. A head on a swivel. You see Shane Jackson. He sees Miles Thompson get in front of Luke Magnan. And Magnan, you can see the reaction on his face right after that, realizing that he got caught ball watching here. You see Jackson right over there to Miles Thompson. I mean, this team is so good offensively that it's tough. You got to know where the ball is. You got to know where your guy is. And if you lapse for a second, they're going to kill you. And that's exactly what they did right there.
6 goals right now in quarter number 1. 6-1 Georgia with 2:25 to go here in the opening stanza as Boucher gives it over on the far side. Benesh now to Burke. Down low to Boucher, across to Benesh, and that one is knocked down by Sellers. Ball squirts free. Benesh picks it up, shoots and scores! Ryan Benesh, his first goal as a Nighthawk.
Ryan Benesh, career point 978 of his career. This is an excellent play here. Benesh can't get the handle the first time. Sellers had it in the stick momentarily, slips through the wickets, and Benesh is right there and takes that low on Poulin for the goal. And there's a penalty on the play as well. As you take one more look at this right from inside the goal, and you see Burke and Sellers were scrapping at it, and we've got Ed Camo is throwing out his challenge flag. So this is going to be a penalty on Mike Burke as he's in the penalty box for roughing. And the Swarm want to check and see if that goal was legit. So from the onset, it looked like the goal was good. I'm wondering if the shot clock had expired, if that's what they're going to look at, because it looked like Benesh wasn't even close to the crease. But we'll take a look at this on replay. We'll take a look at what the officials are looking at as well. So here you go. Watch, keep an eye on 17 in black. There's more than enough time on the shot clock, so this is not a shot clock issue. I don't know what they're challenging there.
Well, you see behind the play why Burke picked up the penalty.
Yeah, you absolutely see why Burke is picking up the penalty. I mean, you can't challenge if it's an illegal screen or not, but oh, they're looking right. So looks from the onset right there is what they're looking at. Was he in the crease at one point during that play? Because certainly when he shoots it, he's not. Because you can see that. That's why I was confused about why they were even taking a look at this. But it looks like they're ready to call this a good goal.
After review, the Rochester player was not the first to touch the ball after the shot. Therefore, we have a good goal.
So Rochester gets their second goal of the game as Ryan Benesh scores his first as a Nighthawk, and we'll be seeing that a lot tonight. 6 new players in the lineup for the Rochester Nighthawks, as they were the most active team at the trade deadline. And here comes Jake Withers. Withers near side, setting up in the Swarm zone, takes on his defender, gets away from Tutton, waiting for some offensive help, and he gives it to Simpson. Simpson, who hails from Onondaga Nation, over now to Triolo and back to Simpson. He'll give it to Jamison, over far side to Benesh. In front to Triolo, he was tied up. Simpson going after it. He is tied up, and that's a shot clock violation. 90 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. 6-2 Georgia. Randy Stotts over now on the right wing, as he will now play it on back. Now to Katoni, behind the back feed to Jackson. Fed up top, the low shot, he scores. Lyle Thompson makes it 7-2.
And that was on the man up, and that's a natural hat trick for Lyle Thompson, an 8-goal first quarter. This is just great ball movement. Katoni behind the back to Jackson. You see they get the defense moving. The slide came too deep down to Jackson, and the skip pass up top to Lyle Thompson. You see everybody swarming at him. Pardon the pun, I didn't even realize I just did that. And Lyle Thompson at the point. Once everybody bites in on that, Thompson's got the lane to shoot.
Shots on goal, 12-8 in favor of Georgia. So making good work of their opportunities. A lot of their chances have been quality opportunities. So Thompson from Jackson and Katoni, as Rochester now with the ball in the final minute of the opening quarter.
Jake Withers absolutely owning the X, whether he's going against Sellers or against McIntosh.
Triolo, spin move, drives, the shot, he scores! Mike Triolo, his first professional goal.
How about Mike Triolo, just officially added to the roster about, what, 5 hours ago? gets a nice inside spin move against John Radigan and gets Radigan on his hip. Double clutches that shot. And what a goal by the big guy. And Craig, we haven't talked about this yet. There are some big forwards that were required of this team. And Chirillo, 6'4", 6'5". Dawson Theed, 6'4", 6'5". I mean, these are some big dudes.
It's more like a basketball team than it is a lacrosse team.
Yeah, they're good. Down low, they can start posting up down there.
As another face-off win, 10 for 10 so far for Jake Withers. And now the shot by Bushi off the crossbar goes out of play, and Rochester will get another crack at it with a fresh 30.
And they're going to pull Warren Hill, so this is going to be 6-on-5 here. And Cody Jamison singling in to settle it down. So there's about 4 seconds differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
"16 seconds to go right now as Jamison being very patient. Over now to Bushi, who's got 2 points. To Jamison, the shot off the left shoulder of Poulin. That one is intercepted. The shot by Jackson, save, rebound, scored! Bushi with 1 second to go.
What a gamble by Rochester, and it pays off. They missed the initial shot with 6 seconds left. Warren Hill was nowhere near getting out to goal right here. And the ball is not picked up by Brian Cole. And Bushi there on the backside to get it in. So after all that, so Jackson with the shot, Poulin knocks it away, but Bushi with the rebound and put back. And what was a 5-0 game is now a 7-4 game. Not awful way to end it for Rochester.
So Rochester will take momentum into quarter number 2. They've scored 3 of the last 4. And Bushi, 3 points in his first quarter as a Nighthawk. You're watching the NLL on BR Live. The chase for the championship has begun, and only one team can be crowned champion. Be sure to catch all the action live as the playoff race heats up. Round 1 of the NLL playoffs begins May 3rd to 5th on BR Live. It's Irish night here in Rochester, New York, and Rochester getting a fortuitous bounce as Chris Bushi buries his second goal of the game with 1 second left in quarter number 1. And Brendan, the Nighthawks, right back in this.
Yeah, they scored 3 of the last 4 of the quarter. You mentioned Bushi with 2 of those. Triolo Benesh also got him as well. And Jake Withers has been dominating the faceoff. Actually, he didn't lose a faceoff in the first quarter.
A perfect 11 for 11, and there's number 12. And Rochester will go on the offensive attack as it's fed over now to Cody Jamison. And Jamison being named team captain this week. Over now to Benesh, fed in front of the net, the shot, and a hard hit on Kyle Jackson. And Georgia now will move it up the floor. Opening minutes, second quarter. It started out 5-0 in the first 5 minutes and 21 seconds. The Nighthawks have settled down and made this a 3-goal game. Over now on the far boards. Fed over now near side to Stotts. Penalty coming up to the Nighthawks, and a kick saved by Hill. That one bounces up, grabbed out of the air by Magnan. And Graham Hosick will head to the box. And the number 2 power play in the NLL will go to work. And a holding the stick penalty assessed to Graham Hosick. Last year, the NLL Defensive Player of the Year. Native of Port Perry, Ontario, one of the alternate captains for the Rochester Nighthawks. Fed over now to Stotts on the near wing. Drops it off for Thompson. Near side, Katoni denied by Hill.
Yeah, Warren Hill seems like he's settling down a little bit. Georgia ran off 5 goals in about 4.5 minutes. That went off the pipe.
And that one will ricochet all the way back down to Mike Poulin. Up the floor now to Lyle Thompson as they'll set up their power play near side to Stotts. Stotts backpedaling, feeds it behind the net to Jackson. Rotates up top, now to Stotts. Face dodge, over to Jackson. And that one is knocked away. Lyle Thompson backhands it over, now fed down low. Cross crease feed, they score! Shane Jackson.
What looked like disaster turns into gold once again for the Swarm. As I thought Miles Thompson had an opportunity on the doorstep to get there. You see Lyle Thompson just dishes it back behind the back Stotts. Miles Thompson had a wide open shot right there, but he elects for the cross crease pass over to Shane Jackson. Warren Hill doesn't have a chance to slide over. Take a look at it one more time. A beautiful heads up play by Miles Thompson, realizing that even though he had a wide open shot, Shane Jackson's look was a little bit better.
And the face-off now, Withers diving for it, trying to scoop it up. He does. Still with it, flips it ahead to Hasek, who has it knocked away. But Jamison is there to pick it up. Over now on the far wall. Boucher on the run, he fires, he scores.
How about the night Chris Boucher is having so far? 3 goals in his Rochester debut, and they've all been a little bit different. It's the guy that came in with 8 goals in 8 games with Calgary, and now he's got 3 in his Rochester debut. Just a simple sweep across the top of the formation, and he gets a little bit of an opening, gets his hands free, and rifles it home.
He is quickly going to become a fan favorite. 4 points in his Nighthawks debut thus far, and Rochester only had to give up a 4th rounder to get him.
And we've only played, what, 17 minutes? And by the way, Withers 13 of 13. Make that 14 of 14. By the way, Craig, I did look it up. The NLL single game record is 30, which is done twice. The most recent time, Bob Snyder, when he played for Washington back in 2012.
Wow.
So we'll keep that in mind, as he's halfway there already, and we just started the second.
That shot by Kyle Jackson is knocked down. And here they come in transition. Georgia's lead back down to 3 again, as they will spread the ball. Worked over now on the near side. The shot by Stotts, and Hill will make the save.
It's a beautiful move by Randy Stotts, but Warren Hill was there to make the save.
Down the floor now to Dawson Theed. Draws the double team, trying to get away, and he'll fire it back to Burke. Mike Burke from the right wing. Now to Benesh. Drives the shot, he hit the crossbar, and that'll go out of play. So the new guys tonight are definitely making an impact.
Yeah, this new look offense. It took them a couple minutes to get moving, but they're playing well so far.
Benesh to Burke. Mike Burke, watched there by Sellers. Fed down low to Benesh. Over to Burke, the shot. That's denied by Poulin. Burke going after it. And here they come. Rannigan in on goal, shooting, and that one is knocked away. Daryl Robertson, great trail check.
Yeah, Rannigan thought he had a wide open opportunity at the cage, but Robertson closed in very well to stop that transition play.
Robertson leading the charge the other way in transition, feeds it to an open Triolo, the shot. Kick saved by Poulin. Now Burke will give it over to Triolo. Ducks away from a hit, gives it to Jackson. Jackson over now on the far side. Boucher scores! That's number 4.
Chris Boucher's about to get his season total in goals here tonight. Another excellent shot. Jackson coming across from right to left. And Boucher didn't have much of an opening right there. Just a small window to shoot, but his hands were free. And as he releases this low, he sends that one just skimming a little bit above the carpet.
we may be witnessing one of the greatest debuts for a Rochester Nighthawk. That one goes out of play, and Rochester will take over. They've trimmed the deficit to 2.
Well, Craig, you've been here for just about everybody's debut. I mean, this is impressive. I mean, we're 20 minutes into the game, and they've only played a third of the game. He's already got 5 points.
Benesh around 1, the shot, and Poulin makes the save. Bushi with 4 goals and 1 assist thus far. His previous goal scoring highs, 3 times he had a pair of goals. He's doubled that tonight. And the shot from the outside, and Georgia answers back as Katoni skips it past Warren Hill.
Well, up to that point, Rochester had scored 5 of the last 7 to get back into this. But Holden Katoni, a former Calgary Roughneck himself, makes it a 3-goal game once again, as Warren Hill has faced a lot of shots so far in this first half. And Katoni that time takes it from the outside. So here's Katoni, gets a little slip screen from Jackson, and Warren Hill didn't see that at all. One more look at it. You see after the little bit of the screen, Robinson was set back just a little bit.
10:15 to go, 9-6 Georgia. And Withers wins the draw, trying to get away from McIntosh. Takes it into the Swarm zone.
That's a perfect 15 for 15 for Jake Withers so far.
On the near boards to Benesh. Now to Jackson. Jackson's got a lane. Elects to give it over on the far side to Bushi.
And got a legal screen on Dawson Feed.
9:50 to go. Georgia 9, Rochester 6, but Benesh and Chris Bushi putting on a show tonight. Rochester within 3. You're watching the NLL on BR Live.
Welcome back to Here in Rochester. I'm joined now by Swarm coach Eddie Comeau. Coach, what have you seen from Rochester tonight? Have they kind of worked their way back into this game?
Yeah, I think, we said they may have some different guys in the lineup, but they're well coached, well prepared. They're not going to quit. And, defense, we're just sitting back too much. And, Bushi has 4 goals and can't let him take shots.
Talking about the defense, also, what other adjustments do you need to make on the offensive side of the ball moving forward?
I think our offense is playing real well. We're moving the ball, setting good picks, and, we just got to really shut the door at the D end.
Lyle Thompson, already a hat trick. What about his play tonight?
Yeah, he's been great. I think the last couple of games have been a little bit banged up, but tonight's coming out with lots of energy, and, we certainly need him.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jenna. 9-6 is our score, and the Rochester Nighthawks will settle back defensively. A lot of fans cheering on Cody Jamieson. And Lyle Thompson, who had 7 points the last time that Georgia played the Rochester Nighthawks. Off to a fine start tonight. Thompson feeds it down low to Stotts. Shoved away by his defender. Gets the pass back. Spin move. Stotts still has it against his defender. Gets shoved back. Pass through the neutral zone now is picked off. And Stotts will corral it on the near boards.
Yeah, it looks like Lyle Thompson ended up with that ball. Nobody knew who had it except for Lyle Thompson.
Stotts gives it across. Now Jackson over to Lyle Thompson, surveying the defense. Gives it over now down low, and that shot is wired wide of the net. That goes out of play. And Rochester will take over as Shane Jackson let that one fly. And Rochester now will go to work. Bushi with the ball on the far boards against Noble. His pass handcuffs his man. He goes after it and very nearly grabbed it before Poulin could scoop it up. Tutton now into the Rochester end. 8:40 to go here in the second quarter. 9-6 in favor of the Swarm. Fed over, that is mishandled. Barclay trying to take it away from Catoni. Catoni picks it up. Gives it over now to Williams. In on goal and just misses wide of the net.
Zed Williams had an open shot at the goal as Warren Hill was out of position, but he could not get a good look at the goal right there.
Bushi now takes that drop pass. Gives it over now on the far boards to Burke. To Benesh. Now to Theed. On the near boards to Jamison. Jamison trying to shake off his defender. Shooting and scores.
Vintage Cody Jamison right there. It's hard to stop the train when it starts rolling like that. As he comes down from the corner and sweeps across and beats Matt Dunn, a big physical defender. But Cody Jamison gets the beat on him, makes him hit the turf. In Rochester, after being down 5-0, it pulled within 2.
9-7 Georgia, and Rochester now leading in shots 24-18. And here comes Withers looking for his first. He'll give it to Jamison. Steps back, fires, and misses high over the crossbar.
When he did that spin, he was so wide open.
So Benesh and Theed assisting. For Theed, that's his first professional point in his pro debut. His parents are here tonight. Miles Thompson's pass ricochets off the near glass, grabbed there by Stotts. Feeds it in front of the net, that's tapped through the crease. Magnan going after it, grabbed by Lyle Thompson, the dunk, he scores!
Craig, that's just not fair. I mean, there's no way a goalie can defend against an acrobatic play by Lyle Thompson, a slam dunk from behind. Take a look at this again. Behind the back feed by Randy Stotts. Thompson can't get the handle on it. He picks it back up all alone. And poor Warren Hill, he just had no chance. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it.
What a goal by Lyle Thompson.
I mean, you run out of superlatives to say about Lyle Thompson. He's just an amazing player. That's 4 tonight for Lyle Thompson.
Withers now will skip it over to Simpson. On the near boards to Jamison, looking to cut the deficit back down to 2. Burke gives it over now to Bushi. Feeds it to Benesh, and that one is intercepted. And fed on ahead is Alex Krepensek, who played at RIT, one of 3 RIT alums in the lineup tonight, and Robinson takes that one away. Here come the Nighthawks in transition. Drops it off for Jackson. Jackson feeds it across to Bushi, and that one is intercepted. Now here come the Swarm the other way. Tutton from the left wing, fakes and tried to get the shot off, and Mike Manley took it away.
Yeah, an excellent defensive play by Mike Manley. We mentioned he's been out of the league for a couple of years, but he's one of the most accomplished defenders in the outdoor game. Played his high school lacrosse at Penn Yan Academy, about 40 minutes from here. 3-time All-American at Duke. 2-time defensive MVP in the outdoor game.
Yeah, that shot by Theed goes wide, and I know the guys are really loving having Mike Manley back in the lineup.
Yeah, I was excited when we saw Mike Manley was going to get signed by the Nighthawks. I mean, this is a guy who started off his career with the New England Black Wolves, with Philadelphia New England Black Wolves, and had a couple opportunities, played 2 games for Rochester in 2016, but said he grew up watching the Nighthawks and wanting to be a Nighthawk, and now he's going to be able to continue to fulfill that.
It's the first home game in his professional career. Fed over, and Randy Stotts buries it. It's 11-7.
Another good offensive play by the Georgia Swarm, just reversing the field and getting the defense to commit to one side and quickly making that ball reversal. You see Jackson. He's going to flip the field right there, and you see Graham Hossack overcommitted. One of the few times you're going to see Graham Hossack make a mistake defensively. Hossack just gets sucked back too much, and then when they flip the field over to Stotts, he's wide open for the goal.
A 4-goal lead now for Georgia. Their biggest lead of the night has been 5, and Rochester has been as close as 2 a couple times. But Georgia keeps having an answer. Triolo posting up. He'll bounce it across now to Burke, who gives it to Benesh. Benesh, who's got 1 goal tonight. Over now to Simpson. He's tied up, grabbed out of the air, fed up the turf, and Georgia will counter with numbers. Fed in front. McIntosh shoots and scores.
So one of the things that Rochester's really struggled on in this game so far has been getting back in transition. I mean, getting out of the box very late and allowing a bunch of odd man rushes. And that is now the 4th odd man rush goal. You take a look at this from back at the beginning of the play. And here's John Ranigan leading the break, and Ranigan, one of the best in the business in transition, and he dumps it over to Jordan McIntosh. These guys have a ton of chemistry. They play all year round together. They play for the Swarm here in indoor, outdoor. They played for the Dallas Rattlers. So they get a ton of time together. They move in transition quite a bit. It's a nice play by Ranigan and McIntosh.
A little rough stuff there off the face-off between Sellers and Withers. And Benesh now will give it to Kyle Jackson. Hands it off now to Theed. Far side, Bushi. His shot from long range is denied. And that one is scooped up and back away. Come the Swarm. Sellers crosses the timeline with 4:30 to go. Over to Zed Williams. Feeds it behind the Rochester goal. Back out in front to Williams. In the slot to Cole. Gives it over far side to Shane Jackson. Now near side to Williams. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Fed now behind the net, back out in front. Miles Thompson the shot, and Magnan will scoop up the rebound. Luke Magnan trying to get away from Cole. Ball is knocked away, and Georgia once again causes the turnover, and Lyle Thompson will settle on the near boards and wait for some help. Stotts to Catoni. Over now on the far boards to Cole, near side. Lyle Thompson in front of the net. Grabbed there by Stotts, feeds it across the behind the back shot by Catoni, goes wide. Picked up by Cole. Back behind the net, and it's lofted back up top to Stotts. 12-7 Georgia. Stotts gives it over far side, and that one is ripped wide of the net and kept in by Jackson. Gives it over now on the far side. Now back across, and we got a penalty coming up. Now we got some rough stuff. As Brad Gillies has a hold of his man, Daryl Robertson is also in there.
Yeah, Stotts is the one that's getting in there.
And now we got Robertson. Going at it. And he slams his man down to the turf as he had the jersey. Is that Shane Jackson?
It's Shane Jackson.
Well, the initial penalty was going to be to Georgia with 3:22 to go. 12-7 Georgia. This is the 3rd time these two teams have met this season, and definitely no love lost. Georgia in the lead by 5. You're watching Friday night NLL Lacrosse on BR Live. Want all the latest news, interviews, and more delivered straight to your inbox? Head over to NLL.com and sign up for the NLL newsletter now. You will not want to miss a beat. some news being handed down from the National Lacrosse League. Brendan, I know the fate of Callum Crawford, and you've got an update.
Yeah, so the appeal hearing officer upholds the 1-game suspension for the NLL's leading scorer, Callum Crawford of the New England Black Wolves, for elevating Greg Cree, and will be served this weekend. The ruling on the additional 5-game suspension for the match penalty repeat offender will be announced next week. So Crawford out, and that's big. I mean, New England in a fight for the playoffs. I mean, you've already got Georgia and Buffalo ahead of them in the standings. I mean, you can ill afford to lose a guy like Callum Crawford and the caliber goal scorer that he is. So he's definitely out this week, possibly still for those other 5 games.
The good news for New England fans is Joe Resetarits now is over on the right side, but you said Callum Crawford, I mean, you take away the suspension, if he plays the whole season, he very well may have been voted the most valuable player.
Oh, easily, yeah. He's been having an outstanding season, but if he gets shelved for 6 games, I mean, that's a third of the season. It's a long time. So right now, by the way, they've got a 5-minute major for fighting for Zed Williams. And obviously Shane Jackson and Dale Robertson are going to be in the penalty box as well. So a big opportunity for Rochester, a 5-minute man up.
Jamison shooting, kick save by Poulin, and they're battling for the loose ball. And Poulin will scoop it up and play it on ahead. Now we got a penalty behind the play, as I think we're going to get coincidental penalties, as Kyle Jackson is going to head to the penalty box for Rochester.
Yeah, he was scrapping with Jason Noble behind the play. So Stats and Robertson, by the way, each got 2 minutes for roughing. And take a look behind the play. Here's Jackson and Noble. So Jackson and Noble are both going to go to the penalty box. So we've got a full house in there. We got 3 Swarm and 3 Nighthawks in the penalty box.
Well, 3:07 to go. Rochester still on the power play because of the 5-minute call on Zed Williams.
So it'll still be 5-on-4 in favor of Rochester.
As Georgia now with the ball on the far side. Now back over near side as Georgia now trying to work some of the clock down. Wiedemann has it on the near side. Watched there by Manley and Hosick. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Flips it over to Lyle Thompson. He lost the handle. Withers going after it. It bounces across the midfield stripe. The over and back is waved off. And a shot clock violation. And the Nighthawks now will go to work on the power play as Ryan Benesh will give it to Jamison. Now up top, Boucher feeds it across to Burke. Back to Boucher, over to Benesh, the low shot, and a left pad save. Rochester, though, very nearly took it away, and it's wafted down into the Rochester zone, and Boucher's there to intercept it. Over now to Burke, and we got a penalty coming up. Is this Cody Jamison?
Yeah, this is not Cody Jamison.
You know, we've seen this happen the last time these two teams met. Jamison picked up a slashing penalty and then was goaded into a fight in the 3rd quarter.
So with that, that'll negate the man up for Rochester for the time being.
And a little fist pump for Leo Sturris by head coach Ed Camo. Rochester just lost their leading goal scorer.
Yeah, and you had 3 minutes and 46 seconds of a power play still to go. Now it's going to be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, and Rochester will have a 1:46 penalty, so they're losing 2 minutes of a man-up opportunity. So we'll be basically 4-on-4 for the rest of this half. As well, there's an 8-second differential between the Jamison penalty and the game clock.
Lyle Thompson has it now. Thompson backing his way in, trying to drive toward the cage. Feeds it across to Ranigan, drops it off, the shot, And that one is knocked down, intercepted. Here comes Hasek, trying to track it down. Hasek rolls it in on goal. It hit the post. Gillies now, that bounces through the crease. Ranagan pinning Gillies to the end boards. And down the floor comes Krepensek. 1:28 to go here in the second. That pass is intercepted by Horn. We got another penalty coming up.
They're running out of room in the penalty box for these guys.
And Jake Withers will head to the box.
So now to be a 4-on-3 for Georgia.
It is standing room only.
As I said, they're going to have to start putting guys in the stands. There are 5 Nighthawks in the penalty box right now.
Lyle Thompson to Katoni. Katoni now to Lyle Thompson. Feeds it down low to Cole. His pass is knocked down by Magnan, but gets it over to Katoni. He fires it near side. Cross crease feed to Cole. Up top to Lyle. Shooting. Save made by Hill.
So take a look. There you go. You got 5 Nighthawks in the box right there.
Magnan takes it across midfield. Final minute of the first half. Rochester had gotten within 2 twice. But the Georgia Swarm putting their foot on the gas here in the latter stages of the second. They got a 5-goal lead. Triolo from the right wing. His pass to Bushi, shooting off the left shoulder of Poulin. Triolo going after it. Sturis picks it up, fires it on ahead, 30 seconds to go. Fed over now to Lyle Thompson, who's very patient with the ball. Ranagan will now join the offense. Thompson, that's Lyle. Gets it across, fed down low to Miles, and tried to feed Ranagan, who tracks it down. That's a crease violation. Rochester now with 10 seconds to work with. Gillies into the Swarm zone. Rochester with a player back. Gillies in on goal. The shot, left glove saved by Poulin. Gillies picks it back up to Jamison, and he skips that one wide. And the first half will come to a close, and Georgia will take a 5-goal lead into the locker room.
And we'll still have some penalties to figure out in the second half, as we'll start 4-on-4 after halftime, but a wild ending to the first half.
3-0 run for Georgia, as Rochester had got it within 9-7. And we'll send it down to floor level, where Jenna Cottrell is with hometown boy Mike Manley.
Mike Manley joining me now. You guys losing 12-7 right now currently, but a lot of spark from this Rochester team. How do you make the adjustments going forward for the second half?
We just got to keep playing hard and stick to the game plan. We got to hunker down on our end on the defensive end and give our offense chances. They've been getting those chances, so we just got to hunker down on the defensive end.
All right, your opinion, guy. What's it like to be here, your first Rochester Nighthawks home game? What's this environment like for you?
It's amazing. This is my first home game with them. I know I was with them 2 years ago, but due to some injuries, I wasn't able to play at home. So watching Nighthawks grow up and be able to play for them is an amazing experience.
Thank you so much, Mike. Good luck in the second half. Guys, back to you.
12-7, the Georgia Swarm lead here at halftime. We'll be back with a halftime report. You're watching the NLL on BR Live. Welcome back to Rochester, New York. We're here at halftime, 12-7, Georgia over the Rochester Nighthawks. Rochester made a host of moves prior to this contest. Dawson Theed is one of the new addition. Let's go down to floor level where Jenna Cottrell is with Dawson Theed.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. I'm joined here by Dawson Theed, your NLL debut tonight. What's this been like, this experience so far for you?
It's been pretty awesome for me. I haven't played lacrosse in a little bit, so getting the chance to come out here and play in the highest level was it was awesome for me.
All right, can you explain to the viewers why you haven't been playing lacrosse in a little bit?
I'm currently playing hockey at St. Mary's University in Halifax, and yeah.
What is this experience like now being here, playing hockey in this environment and this hyped up amount of fan base here?
It's electric in here. It's a little more people than the university hockey crowd, so it's got the boys fired up, and we're going to try and make a push here in the second half.
I've been told that your parents are also in attendance. What's this experience been like having them here to cheer you on?
I'm so thankful they can make it out here and support me in my first NLL game, and I'm sure they love it too.
You guys trailing right now 12-7 against the Swarm, but you had a couple bursts there to put you guys within 2. How are you going to readjust in this for the second half?
We're going to continue to keep scoring goals, and we're going to get some stops on D and make a push here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dawson. We're at the break right now. The Swarm currently leading 12-7. We'll be back in Rochester here after the break.
Welcome back to the halftime report. Alongside Brendan McDaniels, I'm Craig Rubzinski. 12-7, Georgia in the lead, and man, what a great start the Swarm got off to.
They got off to a huge start. They got 5 goals in the first 5.5 minutes. And it looked like it might be a disaster for the Rochester Nighthawks, but they were able to work their way back. They cut it within 2, but then it's a 5-goal lead here at halftime. You take a look at the early going, and transition was what really killed Rochester in the first quarter, particularly the goal right there by the Swarm, getting them on the board. And then Lyle Thompson, one of his 4 goals in the first half. As we mentioned, this was a 5-goal run in the first 5 minutes. You got to remember, there's a lot of new parts here for Rochester. Shane Jackson scores in transition. So there's some kinks that Rochester had to work out here. And as they're getting things figured out, Warren Hill also got the start in goal, so that was a little bit different for the Nighthawks. Lyle Thompson getting on the inside, so you see 2 goals here for the early going as Georgia went up 5-0 in the early going, and the barrage just continued. And Lyle Thompson, what a first half that he had. He was scoring from all different places on the floor. The Swarm, so many guys that can score goals for him. Then you move ahead to the second quarter, just more of the same. Beautiful cross crease pass. Shane Jackson gets it from Miles Thompson there, and this time little slip screen, and Stotts gets the goal. Just a lot of different ways that they're scoring. And then Lyle Thompson on the slam dunk. Just amazing array of moves by Lyle Thompson. 12 goals in the first half by the Georgia Swarm. There's Randy Stotts wide open on the near side. Then once again in transition, this is John Radigan creating. He's going to dump this off inside to McIntosh. Beautiful transition play. 5 transition goals for Georgia in the first half. That's really what helped them out. But on the other side, Rochester started off slow, but they were able to get in the scoring mix here, Craig.
Yeah, Chris Boucher, man, what a debut. 4 goals and 1 assist. We take a look at the first one right there. And then how about Ryan Benesh?
Yeah, Ryan Benesh did a great job in the first half, just coming over almost 1,000 career points. You know he's going to get his goals. That one, he puts it right in between the legs of Mike Poole, and then inside Mike Triolo. That's his first National Lacrosse League goal. Beautiful play, nice spin dodge inside. Then Kyle Jackson doesn't get the goal. Boucher off the rebound, one of his 4 goals in the first half. And this time, Boucher's going to sweep across. He's going to kind of take that sidewinder shot and get the goal. Then Boucher one more time, just a beautiful play. And then Cody Jamieson, vintage after he gets the pick by Jackson. His first and only goal of the first half. And Rochester looked like they were going to keep this close in the first half, but Georgia scored 4 of the last 5 in the first half to give them this 12-7 advantage.
We talked about Chris Boucher. He was acquired from Calgary for just a 4th-round pick. He had 8 goals and 6 assists for 14 points in just 8 games. He's got 5 points in the first half for the Rochester Nighthawks. Looks like he's enjoying his first game in teal and purple.
Well, it's interesting because when these trades came down at the deadline, everybody thought that Rochester was having a fire sale and didn't really pay attention to the guys they brought in outside of Ryan Benesh. But Boucher comes in for a 4th-round pick from Calgary. As you mentioned, he had 12 points in 8 games, and really now he's really blossoming in this Rochester offense in the first half. You see this one is off the rebound, 4 goals and assist in the first half, and he's finding those open spots. This may be a gem that Kurt Stowers found at the trade deadline that nobody even realized.
He told me yesterday, you were going to be surprised how well these new guys are going to play, and prophetic that Chris Bushi has 4 goals and 1 assist. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the first half stats. You're watching the NLL on BR Live. NLL on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Welcome back to Rochester, New York. And Brendan, Rochester's down by 5, but there are some places where they are dominating statistically tonight.
They certainly are, and Rochester dominating the faceoffs, particularly Jake Withers has 19 of 20 faceoffs. By the way, the single game record is 30. Very well getting it. Rochester dominating loose balls. Rochester has more shots, but they're not getting efficient shots on that in power plays. Rochester hasn't converted on their one. They had a 5-minute one that was negated by a Cody Jamieson penalty. So Rochester dominating a lot of parts of the scoreboard, but not the most important one as they find themselves down by 5 here at halftime.
12-7, the Rochester Nighthawks trailing. Let's go down to Jenna Cottrell, who's got one of the big stars tonight, Chris Bushi.
Here we have one of the game balls from Chris Bushi, already a hat trick on the night, and your first ever appearance with the Nighthawks here, acquired from Calgary. It seems like you're settling in quite nice here in Rochester.
Yeah, I mean, the guys have been great. It's a transition, obviously, with a new team, but couldn't be happier to be here.
What do you think has helped you settle in so quickly with this team?
I think just the guys just calming me down, you know, shoot the ball first, ask questions later.
What do you guys need to do in this second half to really get going against the Swarm?
They run the ball right off the drop here, so break transition and keep shooting the ball. Seems to be dropping for us, but yeah.
Thank you. Good luck. Thanks. All right, guys, back up to you in the booth.
Looking to climb their way back here in quarter number 3 as Georgia with a 12-7 lead, looking to lock up a playoff spot, a win tonight. And they'll be the first team to clinch a postseason berth.
Yeah, Craig, we talked about this. I mean, Georgia and Buffalo, the top 2 teams in the National Lacrosse League. Right now, Buffalo has an opportunity. They can clinch their spot this weekend as well. But Rochester's made it a fight here in the first half. So keep an eye on it. We're going to be 4-on-4 here for the next 24 seconds. And then Rochester will have a short power play as the 5-minute major to Zed Williams, still yet to be finished.
And the Rochester Nighthawks, James Barclay, who was the Nighthawks' first-round pick this year, will work it up the floor. He'll drop it back for Cody Jamieson. Jamieson backpedaling. And Rochester now in the power play, also a delay called coming up to Georgia. Bushi has it, gives it to Burke, back up top to Bushi, to Jackson, over to Jamieson, the shot, and that is denied.
Well, you see a busy first half, 19 combined goals, 33 combined penalty minutes. At one time we had 8 guys between the 2 teams in the penalty box, and we're gonna have another one going into Georgia. As you take a look at the penalty box right now, it's Lyle Thompson will go in there. He's got a 2-minute for pushing.
So the Rochester Nighthawks on a short 2-minute power play as Jamieson will work it to Benesh. Now to Bushi. Back to Benesh. Down to Jamieson. Over now, Bushi shooting, and Poulin makes the stop. Here comes Georgia across midfield. Catoni drops it off. Cole gives it back to Catoni. Penalty coming up. Penalty coming up now to Rochester. Skip pass over now to Catoni. He'll give it cross 4. Now lofted on back to Stotts. Stotts over now on the far boards. The shot in on goal, and Hill makes the save. And that one is scooped up.
So this will negate a power play opportunity for Rochester. As it looks like Cody Jamieson going back to the penalty box.
And that is the second time tonight that Cody Jamieson is headed to the box for slashing. Very tough to lose Jammer. 9th season in the NLL, former most valuable player.
So we'll go 4-on-4 for the next minute 9. And then Georgia will have a power play opportunity just under a minute.
Here comes Graham Hossack, charging in on goal, fires the shot, and that goes wide of the net. Grabbed on the near boards. Wiedemann now into Rochester territory. And he is going to flip it on back to Williams. Zed Williams gives it now to Cole. Hands it off now to Jackson. Feeds it in the high slot. Wiedemann to Williams. Williams up top. Takes on his defender. Spinning, still has it. Gets his hands free. Gets the shot off, and Hill makes the stop.
Zed Williams had to work really hard to get his hands free. Great job defensively by the Nighthawks, and Warren Hill there to make the save.
Kyle Jackson will drop it off to Theed, who has got an assist in his pro debut. Now to Jackson. He got the shot off, but that rolled out of his stick. Watch there by Noble, the shot by Jackson, and that stopped by Poulin. A great leader on and off the floor for the Georgia Swarm, Mike Poulin. One of the veteran netminders in the National Lacrosse League.
Second season in Georgia. He won a Champions Cup in 2017. Helped Calgary reach the West Division Finals for 4 consecutive years. Former goalie of the year. I mean, this is an accomplished goaltender in the National Lacrosse League.
Here comes Mike Burke. Feeds it across. Hossack shooting and scores.
Short-handed, no less, in transition. That's a big one for Rochester because they had a couple opportunities on the man up. They could not convert, but short-handed, Graham Hossack. Take a look at transition. Burke does a great job of sucking in the defense. Flips it over to Hossack on the far side, and Hossack wide open, and he was telegraphing his shot to the right shoulder and actually sent it to the left shoulder. Great job by Hossack.
Time of the goal, 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And a procedure call, another win for Jake Withers. Mike Burke with 2 assists tonight. He has eclipsed the 50-point plateau in his NLL career. Luke Magnan now will give it back to Burke. Fires it now on the near boards to Bushi.
Jake Withers, by the way, a perfect 21 of 21. Rochester's only loss was by Barclay.
Near side now to Burke. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Burke threw a screen, and Poulin makes the save. And he'll feed it on ahead. Across midfield, Georgia now and Rochester both at even strength, which has been unusual in the last 2 quarters.
37 penalty minutes between the two teams, 14 total offenses.
Stotts with the shot, and Hill makes the save with the right shoulder. Oren Horn being pressured by Maryland product Brian Cole, and Cole takes that one away.
What an effort by Brian Cole. He saw the youngster Horn going up the boards and pinned him against the boards and forced the turnover.
Zed Williams feeds it behind the back shot, and that one sails wide of the net. Grabbed on the near boards by Lyle Thompson, feeds it in front, and that shot is knocked away, and Hill retrieves it behind the net. Brandon Robinson, big number 13 in black, trying to get across midfield, flips it, and that one very nearly picked off, and Robertson is able to corral it. Here comes Daryl Robertson in on goal. The bounce shot adds off the left pad and out of play as Poulin stopped that one, and Rochester will get the reset.
Yeah, Rochester dodged a bullet right there because Robinson crossed over midfield and got himself in no man's land across the board and at the midfield stripe when he was able to sneak it away to Robertson.
Stotts gives it over now on the far boards. Back to Stotts. Looking, still has it. Near side, Katoni gives it on the near boards to Jackson. Jackson fed it over. Katoni couldn't get the shot off. It's batted through the slot. It's intercepted by Barclay. 3-on-2 break. Barclay feeds it in front, and that's in and out of the stick of Bushi.
Yeah, Bushi would have had a good look at the cage had he got that cleanly. And we got some scrapping going back and forth behind the play. Wiedemann and Kyle Jackson were going at it. No call, though.
2 number 4s going after it is Hossack and Lyle Thompson. And Thompson gives it near side to Jackson. Cross floor feed. That pass by McIntosh now fed in front. The low shot, save, rebound. Miles Thompson denied by Warren Hill.
And it dove right into the legs of Warren Hill.
And it looks like Brandon Robinson is going to head to the box for Rochester. 8:51 to go, and the Swarm will be on the power play when we come back. What a spectacular save by Warren Hill. First, that one, and then, even better, the follow-up. You're watching the NLL on BR. Join Devin and Renee this week, taking you inside the action on Inside the NLL every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on BR Live. And Georgia Swarm fans, make sure you don't want to miss the next game. It's Faith and Family Night on Friday, March 22nd, against the Toronto Rock. Face-off is set for 7:35 from Harrah's Cherokee Casino Field at Infinite Energy Arena. Get in the action today by getting your tickets for as low as $25 by visiting GeorgiaSwarm.com. Power play now for the Swarm as they are 2 for 4 this evening, and they are now 3 for 5 as that one is buried by Shane Jackson.
Rochester continuing to get bit on the man up. So the illegal body check on Robertson, and the goal for the Swarm. They have scored 5 of the last 7. So here we go. We take a look at it again. The behind the back flip to Stotts. Back behind the cage from Miles Thompson, right in front to Shane Jackson. I mean, that was pretty well defended, but there's better execution by the Swarm with Miles Thompson back behind cage.
Swarm coaching staff said they're at their best when they're very unselfish. And you can see it, you've seen it all throughout the night. Guys are giving up open looks for a teammate who has a better look.
Yeah, you take a look at this from the opposite goal, and just a beautiful play. You're right, Craig. I mean, just unselfish play. Sometimes guys can't help but be selfish in this game, but I mean, the ball movement by Georgia has just been outstanding.
Withers wins another draw, and Bushi will give it over to Jamison. Jamison tried to flip it in front. Benesh is tied up, and Georgia's very quick to move it up the floor. Tutton now will fire it across midfield. Wiedemann gives it over now on the far boards, and now pass near side to Brian Cole. Cole gives it over to Williams. Williams against Robertson. Handed off now to Jackson. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Stotts to Jackson in front. The shot that hit the crossbar. And Hill will feed it on ahead to Oren Horn. Miles Thompson with a watchful eye on Horn. And Kyle Jackson now will backpedal on the far boards. Middle of the floor to Jamison. Near side to Burke. Feeds it in front. Bushi shoots and scores.
Bushi now with 5 goals in his Rochester debut. The trade that nobody talked about is the guy that's making all the noise. Here's Burke feeding and cutting Bushi, who got behind Jordan McIntosh. Just a nice cut right there. He just slips right in front of the captain of the Georgia Swarm. Burke and Jamison on the assists. And Craig, we talked about it in the first half. I mean, he scored 8 goals for Calgary this season. He might match that in this game.
He was a goal-a-game guy for Kurt Malowski and the Roughnecks, and you're right, he's got 5 already and a lot more time to play. Georgia with the ball, still a 4-goal lead, and the hidden ball play very nearly turned into a turnover. Katoni from the left wing, shooting, and that one's denied by Hill. Here comes the Nighthawks. Withers, that's an over and back violation. So Rochester will have the ball, an opportunity to get within 3. As Ryan Benesh, who will play in his 200th career game tomorrow night in Toronto, with the ball. Benesh on the run, and that stopped. The rebound, Triolo going after, kicks it back over to Jamison.
A delayed penalty coming up. So Rochester have an opportunity to go on the power play. They are 0 for 4 so far tonight.
So the Nighthawks will see what they can do with a man advantage.
And this penalty is going to be on Matt Dunn, the defenseman.
Rochester trailing by 4. Benesh from the left wing, one of the most prolific scorers in league history. Now to Bushi, his pass to Jamison, in and out of his stick. Burke, though, pressuring the ball. And Noble will fire it. It's picked off. Benesh in on goal. The fake. And he's going to pull it to the far boards.
Smart play to pull that back out. He did not have the shot that he was looking for.
Benesh to Bushi, looking for 6 tonight. Now to Benesh, the shot, left shoulder saved by Poulin, corralled by Jamison. Bushi in the high slot, over now to Burke, shooting, he scores!
An important goal for Rochester as they had struggled on the man up so far tonight. They've scored 3 of 4 in this quarter. And they get the man up right here. Take a look at it again. Off the rebound, Jamison gets his play started, skips it over to Bushi. Bushi with it behind the back, and Burke, he's taken about 4 shots from that same spot on the field and has hit Poulin in the chest each time. This time, he's able to get it right under his right armpit into the back of the net. Take a look at it one more time. Bushi with the assist. So that now gives him 6 points, 7 points, excuse me. So he now has 5 goals and 2 assists.
A rare face-off win for Georgia. Williams shooting, that goes wide of the net. Grabbed by Magnan. Magnan being pursued by 3 Swarm forwards, and that's intercepted by McIntosh. And he'll play it on back to Sturris, now to Lyle Thompson. Passed over now to Jackson, near side Katoni. Katoni fires it over now, right wing. 10 seconds left on the shot clock, behind the back feed. As Stotts is pinned to the end boards, scampers away, still with it, backing his way in. Over to Lyle Thompson, shooting, left glove save by Hill. Down the floor now to Hasek, into Georgia territory. Hits the trailer, that's Theed, and a goal, he scored! Dawson Theed, his first pro goal.
That's 4 of 5 now for Rochester. And Rochester, who's struggled in transition so far tonight, gets this one in transition as Theed comes jetting out of the box. Hasek finds him right down Main Street, goes low for the goal.
What a shot by the former Whitby Warrior.
Yeah, Theed played his junior A for the Whitby Warriors. He's a big guy, 6'4", 225 pounds. And when you see him barreling down the middle of the floor, that's a tough go for defenders.
2 straight face-off wins for Georgia. Right now, 23 for Withers. He is 7 shy of tying the NLL single game record. And Rochester within 2. Katoni to Williams, backing his way in against big Graham Hossick. Williams shooting, save, rebound. That's rolled on over to Withers. Rochester with an opportunity to get within 1. Flipped on ahead to Benesh. Drops it off for Bushi. He's got 5 goals and 2 assists tonight. Bushi flip pass to Burke. Gives it over to Bushi. Has it in the high slot. Trying to get away from his defender. Still has it. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Bushi with the drive. He's knocked down to the turf. And that's going to be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, give credit defensively, Matt Dunn. He got really aggressive on Bushi that time. Did not allow him to get a shot off.
13-11. The lead is back down to 2 as the Rochester Nighthawks on a 3-0 run, as right now they're putting on the pressure on the Georgia Swarm. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live. Don't miss the NLL's newest show, NLL Flash, hosted by Tyson Geik, taking a closer look at the NLL's hottest topics and takes from an all-star cast of analysts from across North America every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on NLL.com. So Rochester, Brendan, within 2 goals right now after the goal by Dawson Theed. See if they've gotten here before. They've been here 3 times. They've never been able to cut the deficit down to 1.
Yeah, just looking at the timeout, Chris Bushi getting some love from his friends up at Queens University where he played club lacrosse up there.
That shot is stopped by Warren Hill. Here comes Brad Gillies through the neutral zone. Being pursued there by Tutton. His pass is knocked down in the slot. Back up the floor now to Tutton. Now it's Gillies' chance to take it away. And Tutton will roll it on over. Now fed on the near wall to Jackson. Jackson in the slot to Stotts. Over to Williams. Tries to feed it through the slot. Nobody there. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Drops it off. Katoni fires that one, and Hill makes the save and scoops up the rebound. Pass down the floor, grabbed by Withers. He leaves it for Jamison. Jamison now to Jackson.
And a delayed penalty coming up. Warren Hill going to the box.
Bushi now takes the drop pass, the shot, save, rebound. Simpson going after it. Bushi in there, throwing his body around, and Connor Sellers comes away with it.
Oh, excuse me, they waved off the penalty. So just as Warren Hill was retreating to the bench, he came back.
Krepensek for Lyle Thompson, 2:30 to go. Over now to Cole, spin move. Fires it up top. Williams spinning, fires, and he misses wide of the net. That one skips across midfield, and that's an over and back violation. Rochester leads in shots 41-36. They trail 13-11. Benesh to Theed, he's knocked down from behind. That pass intercepted. 2-on-1 break the other way, and we got a penalty coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Brendan Bomberry. He ran over Mike Burke. That a penalty should have been called on the pusher possession before that.
And Mike Burke tonight has taken an absolute beating. And he's got a goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, Bomberry's trying to plead his case there, but that one was pretty egregious.
So Rochester on the power play with a chance to get within 1.
So there you see it again. Bomberry gave a hit to Benesh.
Bushi shoots and scores! Number 6.
So So Rochester has scored 5 of 6. And Bushi now has 6. Take a look at this for the first time. Most of you are seeing this. On the power play, Bushi sneaks right in there and gets in between 2 defenders. It gets it open lane. Look at that reaction. Take a look at it again. It's Cody Jamieson working the point. Gets cold and gets sucked in up top.
Pure joy on the face of number 21.
That's now 4 assists for Cody Jamieson. He's also got a goal as well. And just like that, it's a 1-goal game.
Withers wins the face-off to Burke. Now to Triolo. Triolo turns and fires. That goes wide. And Rochester can't keep it in. So Georgia is going to take over on the over and back. The defense racing back. This is the closest that Rochester has been since it was 1-0. Stotts with it. Near side, Catoni fires wide. Ball bounces back to Stotts. His shot is batted down by Magnan. Back over on the far side. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Fed over, the dive, and there's a penalty coming up to Barclay. Big hit on the near boards. And that one is knocked across midfield. Now we got 2 players tied up.
Barclay and Jackson. Jackson has been ready to go all night. Doesn't care who he's with.
That's Mike Manley.
Manley and Catoni got into it in the near boards. It was hard for us to see. That was right below us. Manley still talking to Catoni. And I don't think he's telling him where to go out to eat afterwards. So we're going to get a penalty on Barclay. So Barclay will sit for 2 minutes. It's now 45 penalty minutes, 18 infractions. So take a look at it again. Watch 25 in black. So he comes, you see kind of had that arm and the hold around him.
We'll see if Rochester can kill this power play off. Georgia 3 for 5 tonight. Lyle Thompson looking, shooting, that goes wide. Magnan grabs it. Running down the near boards, drawing some pressure, still has it, gets across the midfield stripe. Magnan weaving through traffic. Magnan still with it. He'll take it behind the net.
How about that by Luke Magnan?
It is so tough to get the ball out of his stick. Bushi now, 28 seconds left here in the third quarter. Has it stripped away, picked up by Jamieson. And that's a shot clock violation, but Rochester kills off some valuable minutes.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot clock violation at all. Matt Dunn, these last couple of possessions, has done a nice job defensively. He's caused 2 turnovers and nearly a third.
9 seconds to go here in the third. Fed behind the net. Jackson feeds it out in front. Stott spins and fires. That goes wide. Robertson grabs it out of the air, and we'll head to the fourth quarter. It's a 1-goal game. Rochester trailing 13-12, and the Nighthawks fans are on their feet. You're watching the NLL on BR Live. The Nighthawks are back on Connors and Ferris Field at the Blue Cross Arena on March 23rd. Come and take part in the Nighthawks Night of Beer, presented by the Distillery. Visit nighthawks.com/beer night for more information. So the Rochester Nighthawks, who trailed 5-0, they headed into halftime trailing by 5. They've cut the deficit to 1. Brendan, what a fantastic effort by the new look Nighthawks.
Yeah, the Nighthawks scored 5 of 6 of the goals in the third quarter. Bushi had 2. Burke on the man up. Dawson Theed got his first. Graham Hossack shorthanded. They did a lot of good things in that quarter. And now for Rochester, they've got to build on it. You mentioned They got it to within 2 a couple times. They couldn't close it in any more than that. Now they're within 1, and Jake Withers has been dominating the faceoff X. They need to convert these extra opportunities and these extra possessions that they're getting.
That's 25 wins for Withers. Feeds it over, Bushi for 7. He got it!
What a debut for Chris Bushi. 7 goals in his debut. He came into the game with 8 on the season in limited time with Calgary. Let's take a look at this one again. Off the faceoff, Withers wins another one, fixes his face mask, makes sure he looks good. Up ahead to Bushi, gets that one right under the arm on the left side. Bushi all alone, beautiful play by the brand new Rochester Nighthawk.
Here come the Nighthawks looking for their first lead of the game. Bushi slings it over to Jamison, down the near boards to Jackson. Rochester feeling the momentum now as Kyle Jackson in the high slot. Feeds it over now to Bushi. Can he get 8? And his pass is picked off in front. Bushi will settle back and play some defense. And the Swarm will change up their personnel. They have led twice by 5. It is now tied, and Rochester is back at even strength. Lyle Thompson, the drive shooting, what a save by Warren Hill.
It's a huge save by Warren Hill.
Graham Hossack ducks away from one defender, gives it to Mike Burke. Opening minutes, 4th quarter. Jamison shooting, and Poulin makes the save as he got the right arm out. The only game on the schedule tonight in the National Lacrosse League, and we got a dandy here on a Friday night. Jackson to Williams, near board Stotts. Fed in front, the shot, he scores. What a spectacular goal by a diving Shane Jackson.
And a goal that Georgia absolutely needed. They hadn't scored in about 10 minutes of game action. And Rochester had scored 5 in a row in 6 to 7. We'll take another look at this again as Jackson feeds it up top to Zed Williams to Stotts. Stotts flips it across the crease to a diving Shane Jackson. And Warren Hill late sliding over. Take a look at it again. It's a nicely executed cross crease pass as Jackson gets the diving goal.
That ends the 5-0 Rochester run, but here comes Withers looking to tie it up. He does! We're knotted up at 14.
Just 7 seconds after they fall back down by 1, Withers gets the face-off and the goal. As Rochester ties it up again, take a look at this. Withers and McIntosh. Withers has absolutely owned Jordan McIntosh, one of the best all-time face-off guys. And Withers gets the goal. Nobody comes up on him. Everybody kind of sloughs off and just lets him go right down the middle. And he beats Poulin.
Jake Withers' first goal of the year.
27 face-off wins for Withers. Now it's 28. 28
Hossack.
of 31.
Hossack across midfield. Now to Triolo. Triolo near side to Jamison. Spin move. The shot, and that one goes wide of the net. Knocked away by Simpson. Triolo goes after it. That one's flipped ahead by Ranigan. Intercepted by Gillies on the run. He fires that one wide. Shot clock violation, and here come the Swarm. 12:34 to go. 14-14. Georgia trying to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Rochester trying to end a 5-game losing streak. Jackson from the left wing. Near side. Stotts, the spin, fires, and Hill the stop. Ahead now to Robertson. That eludes him. He's trying to track it down in the near corner. Batted up the far boards. In and out of the stick of Burke, and that one goes out of play. It'll be Georgia ball. The Swarm with it. Rochester with the shots advantage, 45-39. Williams from the right wing. Gets it over now to Cole.
A lot of bodies flying around in the middle.
That one's flipped over to Williams. Grabbed and fired behind the net. Now fed out in front. The shot, he scores. And it's Shane Jackson again.
Shane Jackson has been huge these last couple minutes, breaking these deadlocks. Georgia has scored 2 of the last 3, and they retake the lead. 15-14. We still got a lot of time left in the game as Williams flips it over to Bomberry. Bomberry back to Thompson, to Jackson in front. And you don't see a lot of times a guy playing behind the cage like that, like Miles Thompson and Lyle Thompson have done. But this Georgia Swarm team has done an excellent job of utilizing that guy back at the X position, what they call in the outdoor game. You really don't see that a lot in indoor, and they've just done an absolutely fantastic job.
Fed down the near boards to Jamison. Rochester looking to tie it back up. They trail 15-14. Burke working the ball down low, now up top to Bushi. Slings it across now to Jamison.
29 of 32 now for Withers. He's 1 away from tying the single game National Lacrosse League record.
That one is fired up the floor. Gillies trying to take it away. He's locked up with Sturris, and an 8-second call, and Rochester will take over. Bushi with the ball. Well, if the fans didn't know who he was before tonight, they definitely do now. As Jamison will work it back over to Burke. Burke to Benesh. Back over to Burke. Driving, shooting, and that one goes wide of the net. And fired up the turf. And it's grabbed there by McIntosh. Georgia will go to work offensively. They've got a 1-goal lead. Stotts from the right wing. Feeds it to Catoni. Over to Jackson. Jackson near side to Williams. Driving in. Feeds it behind the net. Now back out in front. The shot. And that is smothered by Warren Hill.
Yeah, Warren Hill was able to lay on that before it crossed the goal line.
Robertson across midfield into the Georgia zone. Skips it over to Simpson, near side to Benesh. He'll hand it off to Theed, who's got a goal tonight. Theed will leave it back for Kyle Jackson. Gives it over Triolo, fires it in on goal. Grabs his own rebound, the dunk attempt, and Poulin makes the save. 9:40 remaining here in the fourth, 15-14 Georgia. Brian Cole from the left wing against Gillies. Cole near side to Stotts. Stotts will hand it off now to Lyle Thompson, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Lyle Thompson getting in underneath the shot. Hill the save, rebound, grabbed by Horn.
Yeah, a little shoulder dodge by Lyle Thompson. He was able to get good position in front of the cage.
Horn now feeds it across midfield to Mike Burke. Now to Bushi. Bushi getting away from Sellers. Feeds it in front, and Burke couldn't hang on. And Sellers will work it up the field. 8:50 to go.
Burke lost his footing right in front, but it was a beautiful play by Bushi and Burke, a little give and go.
Lyle Thompson over now to Williams. Back across to Catoni. Leaves it, the shot by Jackson denied, scooped up by Hill. Fires it ahead now to Manley.
29 saves now for Warren Hill. He was shaky at the beginning, and he's really stepped it up. He let the first 5 shots in, so he's 29 of 38.
And Thede just misses wide. Grabbed now by Shane Jackson, 3-on-2. Dropped off the shot. Hill makes the save as he denies Dunn. Robinson across midfield. Brandon Robinson will flip it over to Triolo. Fresh off a President's Cup win this summer. Triolo behind the net, penalty coming up. Jamison in front, the shot by Benesh, he's denied. And Kyle Jackson was hammered down in front of the net.
Yeah, and he's having some words in front with Chad Tutton.
7:45 to go. Georgia in the lead by 1, but Rochester going on the man advantage. You're watching the NLL on BR Live. Welcome back to Rochester, New York, and Warren Hill has been stellar tonight as the Rochester Nighthawks getting some stellar saves here in the second half by number 76 in black, Warren Hill.
Yeah, Warren Hill has done a great job here, particularly in the second half. He's really settled down after giving up those first 5 goals, and he's only given up 3 goals in the second half alone after giving up 12 in the first.
And Bushi misses wide on the follow-up opportunity. Tracked down now by Burke. Rochester looking to tie it up. Benesh from the high slot. Over to Kyle Jackson, it's knocked down. Back to Benesh. Hesitates, shooting, save, rebound, and that's batted back in. And Sellers feeds it up the floor. McIntosh on a breakaway. McIntosh shooting, what a save by Hill.
And we got a penalty on Rochester on the backside. So Georgia will go on the man up here. So take a look at the save first. Here, as McIntosh gets denied by Warren Hill.
So we're 4-on-4 in that shot. What a save again. Warren Hill bringing his A game here in the second half. Now Withers into the swarm zone to Thede. Bounces off a defender and skips that wide. And that'll go over the near glass and into the crowd. And Georgia will take over with 6:40 to go and a 1-goal lead.
So the Rochester penalty was on Chris Bushi for slashing. Tutton's still in the box for another 45 seconds or so.
Lyle Thompson has it now in the right wing. Watched there by Brandon Robinson. Looking, weaving his way. Oh, what a big hit by Barclay. Ball rolls over. The shot by Shane Jackson is denied by Hill. Quickly ahead now to Robertson. Nice play by Barclay, the rookie, standing up. Lyle Thompson. Triolo with it. He's got it on the far boards. Now to Thede. Thede back to Triolo. Triolo bounces off of his defender. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. That pass is grabbed out of the air. Wiedemann feeds it on ahead. Across midfield, and the Swarm bench telling him to settle it down, and the flip pass taken by Stotts. Now Lyle Thompson gives it across to Catoni. Catoni, Lyle Thompson, over now near side to Stotts, feeds it behind the net to Miles, to Lyle, over to Randy Stotts, a shot, and that's denied by Hill.
Just got enough of it.
And that's batted on over, and that is an over and back.
Big break for Rochester as they can kill the last 9 seconds of this Georgia Swarm man up.
Cody Jamieson with the ball on his stick with 5 minutes to go. Rochester back at even strength, looking for the equalizer. Feeds it over to Boucher. He's denied by Poulin. Benesh in front. That one bounces ahead, and the Swarm now will corral it. And Tutton will flip it over now to Lyle Thompson, near side to Stotts. Drops it back for Lyle Thompson. Flips it over to Williams, gives it on a cross. That pass back near side, the shot missed wide of the net, grabbed by Catoni. The follow-up, that one is denied by Manley. Here comes Hossack into the Georgia zone. Hossack now will fire it on over to Jamieson. Leaves it off now for Theed to Jamieson. Cross-floor pass to Triolo. Triolo bounces off a defender. Now to Jamieson, shooting. Left glove save. Jamieson scored on that one earlier. Outlet pass. Robertson takes it away. Here come the Nighthawks in transition. 3:50 to go, fourth quarter. 15-14, Georgia a win, and they're in the postseason. Here come the Nighthawks. The drive, the shot, and that one is defended by Poulin and two defenders as Boucher's denied. Passed over now in front of the Georgia bench, grabbed by Lyle Thompson. In the high slot, feeds it down low to Miles. He's stopped on the doorstep by Hill. Rochester trying to clear it out. Kicked ahead, Manley going after it. He scoops it up. Takes it into Georgia territory. Manley still with it. He has it stripped away. And McIntosh will walk it across the timeline. 2:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Behind the back pass, Williams the dive, and Hill the save. 2:44 to go. The Rochester Nighthawks battling right down to the wire here as Warren Hill keeping the deficit to just one. You're watching the NLL on BR Live. And now for the play of the game, presented by Geico. What a great effort by none other than Lyle Thompson. The play of the game, presented by Geico. .244 to go. Rochester needs one to tie things up. Kyle Jackson, the University of Michigan product, gets it over to Boucher. Boucher now to Jackson. Jackson has it up top. He'll feed it over to Benesh. Benesh in on goal, he scores! Ryan Benesh ties it at 15.
The first goal we've had in more than 9 minutes of game action. And Benesh finesses it by Poulin. He wasn't even ready for the pass. Coming in there. And what a play by the veteran. Take a look at this again as Jackson sends it in and Benesh just one-hands it. Totally fakes out Cole and goes low between the legs of Mike Poulin. What a savvy move by the veteran. Totally got Cole to bite on that. I don't know if that was planned or not, but if that wasn't planned, that was amazing.
It almost looked like everyone stopped playing but Ryan Benesh.
Yeah, the officials going over to the...
I think they're trying to see if Boucher was in the crease. He had already exited the crease.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get a good look at this. It looks like he got pushed in. So they're looking to see when Benesh got the ball. So nobody's in the crease when Benesh gets the ball. So I believe it's going to be pretty cut and dry here. They're going to take another angle of this. But I don't think this angle is going to help them at all. So it just shows in the top of the crease, but Rip, I think that goal stands.
I think that'll be a good goal.
I don't see how they can overturn that. See, this is the best look you get. You see right on the very left side of your screen, right underneath the shot clock, Bushi's going to get pushed into the goal. Right there, you see Noble pushing him in, and Bushi's trying to avoid it. And he is out well before Benesh gets the ball. So this will give you a better look at the push on the back side. Oh, wait, we're looking at right here in front. Oh,
they're looking at Benesh.
yeah, Benesh was in the crease. Yeah, I thought you were right. I thought you were looking at.
I couldn't see it from that other angle.
I thought they were looking at Bushi as well. I think that's why Benesh stopped, because he thought they were going to call a crease violation, and they never did. Here's the call.
After review, this goal scorer ran through the crease, was the first to touch. No goal.
And that is the correct call.
That is the correct call. That is the absolute right call.
Benesh was in the crease, was the first person to touch the ball. Therefore, no goal. So good challenge by Georgia.
And now it makes sense why we thought Benesh stopped playing right there. So it wasn't planned. It was because he stepped in the crease.
2:16 to go. Rochester trailing by 1. Randy Stotts from the right wing. Cross floor feed to Jackson. Jackson shooting. That one ricochets into the crease. Fired on ahead to Gillies. Into Swarm territory with 1:58 remaining, over to Bushi.
9-point night for Bushi.
Over to Benesh, near boards Jamison. 1:48 remaining. Jamison, double team. Ball squirts free. Grabbed there by Jackson. Jackson draws the double team, and that one ricochets right back to Poulin. Outlet pass, grabbed by Tutton. 1:30 remaining, 15-14 Georgia. Near boards to Stotts. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Shane Jackson. Watched by Oren Horn. Left wing, Jackson still with it. Feeds it now near side, Williams in front. And that's grabbed out of the air by Hill. Hill ahead now to Robertson. And Coach Hazen calls Warren Hill to the bench. Bushi with the ball, 58 seconds to go. Rochester looking to tie it. Net to our left is empty. Jamison across. Bushi's shot goes wide. Grabbed by Triolo. He fires it wide, and that one goes out of play. 44 seconds to go, and Warren Hill racing back in between the pipes. Tutton now will flip it on back for Noble. Gillies trying to take it away. Passed over now to Cole. 30 seconds remaining, and the Swarm hanging on to a 1-0 lead. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Stotts. Stotts gives it over on the near boards to Lyle Thompson. 4 seconds on the shot clock. And that's a shot clock violation. And the Rochester Nighthawks will call a timeout.
Yeah, Mike Hazen's going to get the timeout with 13.6. A ton of time left on this, so they're going to go 6-on-5. They're going to pull Warren Hill out here. And for Rochester, you see Micah Kersey drawing up a play on that grease board.
Micah Kersey, just a season ago, inducted into the Nighthawks Hall of Fame. seemed everywhere he went, they won championships.
He's got quite a few of them. His trophy case is not bare, that's for sure.
And Bushi, it appears, will be starting with the ball.
So Bushi, Jamison, Benesh. They're out there. Burke, Triolo, and Jackson are your 6 on the floor for the Nighthawks.
Empty net for the Nighthawks, 14.2 to go. Rochester trailing by 1. Looking to send it to overtime. Here comes Bushi. Over now to Jamison, left wing. Jamison feeds it across the shot, and Triolo missed. 5 seconds to go. Bushi over on the near side. Grabbed in front, the one-handed shot, Triolo denied by Mike Poulin.
And Georgia clinches a berth in the playoffs with that victory, but they had a fight for this one as Rochester got themselves in a 5-0 hole. They fought their way back. They found themselves in another 5-goal hole, 12-7 at halftime. They only gave up 3 goals in the second half, but it wasn't enough as Mike Poulin able to shut the door at the very end and lead his team to victory. But Craig, it was very close at the end.
A thrilling game. Rochester falls 15-14. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the post-game report here from Rochester, New York. You're watching the NLL MBR Live. Welcome back to Connors and Ferris Field at the Blue Cross Arena. Alongside Brendan McDaniels, I'm Craig Rubzinski, and let's go down floor level to Jenna Cottrell, who's got the Ide player of the game.
Yeah, I'm joined now by Chris Bushi, a 9-point night for you, 7 goals, adding in 2 assists. A lot of fight from this team tonight. Just talk about this game and what this means for you.
Obviously, it's my first game with the team, so it means a lot. Unfortunately, it comes at a loss, but I mean, we're going to build up this game, and it seems like the fans are excited tonight, which is good for the long run in the season here.
You, one of 8 new players joining the team. How have you guys been able to acclimate so quickly?
I mean, with new guys comes new opportunity, right? So, I mean, we're all excited to be here. We're all getting our shot now. So, I mean, we're taking it by the horns, and we're ready to go.
Your thoughts on this Rochester atmosphere?
I love it. The fans were great tonight. You know, they're getting into it. Thanks to everyone coming out. I mean, it's going to be an exciting rest of the season, I think.
All right, I think you're going to be a fan favorite. Thank you tonight, Chris. Guys, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Jenna. Well, when you have 7 goals and 2 assists, people are going to remember your name. Chris Bushi, a spectacular debut for the Rochester Nighthawks.
Absolutely. We can't talk more about Bushi. He came into this game, he played 8 games for Calgary before getting traded over here. 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points in 8 games. So we just talked about a point a game. 9 points tonight in his Rochester debut. He took advantage. He's got this sidearm shot that really worked well for him today. He was really fooling Mike Poulin throughout the contest and just not quite enough for Rochester. But you know what? He was kind of that guy that people said, oh, well, Rochester lost all these guys, and yeah, they got a couple dudes back. Well, he was one of those couple dudes that they got back, and he's showing himself now that he's got an opportunity to kind of get featured in a lineup that he might be a future star in this league.
Absolutely. I mean, this is his rookie season in the National Lacrosse League. 9 points tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's final statistics. Rochester falling 15-14 to Georgia.
Yeah, you take a look at the shots. Rochester just a small advantage of his shots. When you see those face-offs, 29 face-off wins for Jake Withers. That's 1 under the National Lacrosse League record. Loose balls, Rochester dominated. Power plays, they struggled a little bit. But when you see a discrepancy in face-offs like that, 29-5, you usually see a discrepancy in the scoreboard. They didn't tonight, but a lot of that was a product of Rochester trying to figure things out in the first quarter. They gave up a lot of goals in that first. They kind of settled down. They only gave up 3 goals in the second half. So Rochester really settled down defensively, but Georgia got enough of a lead out there to pad and really just kind of like held on at the end. But you got to like the fight of this new look Rochester Nighthawks team. I mean, they were inches away from tying this game up 2 different times. That one, Benesh, he got what we thought was the game-tying goal with about a minute to go. He stepped in the crease. Before that, Mike Triolo, had an opportunity with time running out, seconds to go. Looked like he had an opening 5-hole, wasn't able to convert. So close for Rochester, but give credit to Georgia. They got out to a strong lead, and Rochester chipped away, but they never gave it up.
I do have to say, though, Brendan, I think that the Rochester Nighthawks fans were immensely surprised by how well they played tonight.
I think they were, and I think especially you could hear the groans and the boos in the crowd after Georgia went up 5-0 in the first 5.5 minutes, and you and I kind of even looked at each other and went, yikes. But something happened after that first timeout, that 9-minute timeout in the first quarter, and Rochester really settled down. Warren Hill kind of got in his groove. The defense settled down, kind of figured out what the Thompson brothers were doing, what Stouts was doing in Jackson. It went back and forth, and I mean, really, you look at the last 3 quarters, Rochester outplayed Georgia in those last 3 quarters, but unfortunately, it was such a good first quarter for Georgia that that's all they needed in order to be able to secure this win.
It's the second time they played Georgia, and Georgia had that one quarter that Rochester could just not overcome. Rochester falls 15-14, Brendan. The Nighthawks fall now to 2-9. Georgia improves to 10-4. They clinch a playoff spot in the East Division. Any final thoughts from tonight's game?
Well, I mean, Georgia's exactly what we thought they would be. I mean, they're still the best team in the National Lacrosse League, and I think the thing that we didn't know was what is this new look Rochester team going to be look like? And I think this is exciting. I think that if you're a Rochester Nighthawks fan, I know that you only got a couple games left, but this is an interesting group, and it's going to be interesting to see what they can do down the stretch. And it continues tomorrow night in Toronto, where they really need to get a win to preserve a chance at keeping a playoff berth alive.
Yeah, Rochester will be playing the Toronto Rockets, the second game, and 2 nights in the East Division for Rochester and head coach Mike Hazen and all the new faces on the Rochester Nighthawks roster. For John Catalano, Brendan McDaniels, Jenna Cottrell, I'm Craig Rubzinski. Have a good night, everyone.